We don't have that type of acquaintance where I'm allowed to miss you, do we? This book, I look at it and I want to burst into tears because, Mama, a girl behind you, like, not the tail.
And about the big chunk of my life I'd spent married to a man who would not cross the width of a kitchen to comfort me.
I really like this book.
Oh good lord, they call him the silver-eyed devil.
Recently, I have started to do the whole TBR prompts, pick my monthly reads thing again. And I think the main problem that I had with doing them was that I would have a TBR for the month and then I wanted to deviate from that or I wouldn't read them. And so it was kind of like, well then, like, what's the point in doing them? For me, the point is to make me prioritize time for books that perhaps maybe I wouldn't. Books that were on my radar are on my radar still, but I don't really have like a set time necessarily carved out for when exactly I want to read them. So then they just kind of like collect dust, you know. In April, it's not April. Is it April? What month is it? Okay, it is April. But for the month of April, I also decided that I wasn't going to pick the standard 10 books that I normally did. I was only going to pick 6. These are the 6 books that are on my April TBR. I have already finished reading this book here. Okay, so that book is for a completely different video, meaning that in this one, these are the 5 books that we are going to read. We are going to really just see how much of my monthly TBR I can read. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish every single one of them, but I want to try. And I think this is a video where I can actually try and just see what books I want to read. Now, I will confess, it is nearing the end of April, so there are some books here that I have in fact already read, so already know my thoughts, and the other ones I'm in the middle of at the very moment. At first, I didn't know how I was going to make this video, so that's why I'm not filming this introduction until later. But I will say though, I really did like the selection of books that I had this month. So obviously this book is not in this video, but I was very intrigued by this book. I actually have finished this book. I think also, what am I saying? I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. I like this selection of books because these are books that I have heard about and wanted to know myself. I've been particularly very excited for Heavenly Bodies and Fairydale and also Murder Road. I had heard mixed things about this one and then also this one as well because I could just be making it, but I swear I heard people saying that like out of like the Annabelle Monaghan books, like was it out like this one is their like least favorite as opposed to Nora Goes Off Script and Same Time Next Summer, which are up there. This video is just joining me along as I read these 5 books and just seeing how much I can get through and really just seeing like how much I do end up reading of the books in the month that I say I'm gonna read them in. So that is this video. I don't know. The only time I force myself to read books is for the Read It or Unhaul It challenge that I do. Specifically the books that I'm reading, and I'm like eye twitching because I do not like the things that I said, but it's like I just want to read them because I have a thing that I'm like I really don't want to unhaul. I don't know why. It's because I'm a hoarder. I think that's why. Like I know that people throw that word around a lot, but like I guarantee you I actually do display like the hoarding thing. What is that show called? I was so obsessed with it, where the people, their house is just filled with so much stuff, and I'd watch the show and I'm just like, but I can so see how it gets to this point because it's just like you just collect things all in your life. And I definitely think it's because in my family no one is like that. In my family everyone's just like chuck it out, you don't want it, donate it, get rid of it. And I'm over here just like, no, I don't want to do that. Why do I have to be like this? What I wish I could be one of those. I wish I could be like people in my family who were just like, that clothes doesn't fit, we're getting rid of it, rather than me being like, but I want this specific piece at this specific time. And I'm getting better. Okay, I'm getting better, but like, no, I just keep things I don't need. Like literally open this drawer, my childhood pencil cases. What am I talking about? I don't know how we got on this topic, but yes, back to this. Let's get started with the first book. I actually love my Kindle. It's so convenient, and I like that it has the little, like, I keep changing the background, the font size, how big it is. I think I like this size font. Before I had it, like, literally, you could be, like, this far back and easily read it. Yes, I'm reading Fairydale. I'm enjoying Fairydale so much. Fairydale it's hard. It's not my before bed book, but, like, when I'm initially in bed, I'm reading this book, and then when I'm feeling tired, I will switch to something else to turn my brain off. But not this book, because I'm actually so invested and I want to, like, know everything that's going on. And maybe I should give a little update about Fairydale, because I'm actually really loving this book. And I don't know if it's because I bought this book before I had a Kindle, and I'm loving reading it on here. I've read a little tiny bit in the book because I do like the indie pages, but also in this, I don't know if it's just because, like, before bed I'm tired, like, in the Kindle I cannot notice any grammatical errors, but I do notice that, like, I typically pick up on stuff a lot more when it's written down, and when things are on screens I really don't notice any grammatical errors. So for example, for, like, my essays and stuff, if I'm just looking at it on my computer screen or my iPad or whatever, I cannot notice anything really. Like, I maybe pick up, like, say there's like 10 grammatical errors that I've written myself in the essay, I will, if I'm looking at it, I'll pick up maybe like 2. Whereas if I print it out and then read it physically and have it in front of me, I will pick up every single one. So it's very strange. So that actually is good though, because I don't like when I'm reading a book, because honestly, like, grammatical errors and stuff like that, it takes me out of the story. Even though I love Magnolia Parks, the grammatical errors and in Daisy's books, the footnotes, it did take me out of it a little bit. It did. Okay, back to Fairydale. I want to talk about this because I literally think this book, it is so interesting. It is, hang on, let me turn it off. So I'm so interested so far. I'm so invested. I'm so immersed. I love the world. I love the world so much. Everything is so eerie and has those gothic vibes, but I am loving it. I love the scenery of Fairydale, you know, the weird things, like the old church, and the writing style is very quick. It's very addicting to read. Like, once you start reading it, you really don't want to stop. And every single night I'm finding myself getting annoyed, like, when I'm feeling tired when I'm reading, because I'm just like, I don't want to be able to, like, just read so much of it because I'm just so interesting. There are some really nice lines in this book as well. One thing I really do appreciate is there are very good descriptions in this book. Very good descriptions of the world, of the scenery, of places. I really do like that. I like when, you know, books actually describe where the characters are. It just helps you, like, imagine things better, you know? It actually just sets things up. I do like how things are linking, because right now I'm up to, like, it's like a past, but it's not really, okay, it's like a past and present, but it's like the past, the main character in our current timeline that we're reading in, she's dreaming that. So she's talking about, like, the dreams, but the top of the chapter says that it's a different year. So, but things are linking, because I am noticing there's like the same characters in both. Is it the same characters or does that have the name? And I'm like, I think other characters, it's either they have the same name or they are the same. And I'm thinking it's going to be the same, because in the author's note at the beginning, the author said that it's complex and pay attention. So I'm assuming that is why. The different timelines and the switching, definitely it works, because as soon as, like, the main one, it switched, I was like, I wanted to keep reading to get back to it, because I'm really interested. Like, I don't think you understand. I don't know. It's just so strange, because I just want to keep reading this book, and it's just so entertaining. What I'm gathering, there is one love interest in the kind of dream past situation, and there is someone in the present, but he's a little bit scary. I don't know if he is some sort of supernatural being. From what I'm reading so far, I'm like, is he supernatural? I don't know, it's the way things are described. I'm like, he's giving vampire, but, like, I don't know if he is. I don't know if I'm just saying that, but, like, he's not a vampire, but, like, I don't know, he's giving vampire vibes. So maybe if you like vampire vibes in a male love interest. Yes, I love how the story is weaving, how things connecting. Back to love interest really quickly. Like, even though he's scary, he's interesting, and I want to know more about his character and how everything's gonna happen with that. Also, the main character, why am I not calling her by her name? Darcy. Okay, she's had a very complex life. She was in an orphanage, and then she finds out that her dad was, like, really rich, and then all the things that she experienced in her life was because of him and his fortune, and not just because of who she was as a person. But she is a teacher, and she keeps talking about Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, and it's making me want to read it so badly, especially when she's like referring to the main character in that book and to situations in the book. So I'm really interested. So I think I really want to read that book because of this one. It's making me want to read it. I love Darcy as a person. Just for example, someone calls her a witch. She makes up a language and pretends to hex him, and he just panics. Sometimes I don't mind if the main character, if that happens, she bursts into tears or she runs away, but it's refreshing to see a character who is just so like quick. If someone called me a witch, I don't know what I would do, but the way she was just like pretending to hex him. Also, another aspect, like, I don't know why I like teas in books. I don't know, I like when tea is mentioned. I think I just like the word tea. What a nice word. See, I have words that I can't say. They're normal everyday words, you know, but I just don't want to say them. Like, for example, one is like a very popular breakfast item. Not for me. It starts with a J. I don't like it. Also, sometimes romance authors will use that word in like intimate scenes, and it's disturbing. I don't like looking at the word. I don't like hearing the word. I cannot even see the drink itself because I don't want to see that. Why? It's irrational. I don't know. It's irrational. My psychologist says it's something about contamination. But tea on the other hand, I love that word. But she, you know, makes these herbal teas, and I'm also very interested in the relationship that she had with her mother before, like obviously the orphanage. But I'm so interested in like her little herbal teas and the little healing properties in that. And when she's like, there was a scene that I just read. When I say just read, I mean like when I last read the book, where she went and was like searching for ingredients from nature, and I really like that. Yes, I love the two different romances because I think it's just like it's interesting. But this is not really, I want to say it's like a love triangle because they're in different timelines and one guy's in a dream. Things that could change, that sentiment could change. I also love what it says about autonomy and female autonomy and women's rights. I'm liking the little glimpse into that as well. Okay, so that is everything I have so far for this book and my opinions so far of this book. And when I'm thinking about it, I would be very, very surprised if this book was anything less than 4 stars. Dare I say 4.5 stars, because I am really liking this book. So yeah, and I love the atmosphere of the main character, which the main character thing, it's just really nice when you read a book and you just love the main character, you just like the main character. Caleb is not a love interest. On page 108, what he did to her was vile, disgusting, despicable, and no, he's not a love interest. Okay, now I'm very interested to see Amon. Then who's other, like, I could have sworn that on the back it said Caleb, but it's not possible if he just did. It is not her fault at all. I see men are called in everything. I love the men main characters where they have a hard time interacting with people and they only like talking to the female main character. I love it. There are so many things in this Fairydale book that I love. I can't believe I'm almost finished with this book. Literally, I feel like I'm on the home stretch. Rapunzel call. The mother doesn't want to let her.
Why can't I go outside?
Dangerous place.
Guys, I'm in the middle of reading Fairydale, and I have 2 hours and 7 minutes left to read this book. And originally, like, there was such a long portion of this book where I was going to give it 5 stars. I thought it was giving me 5-star feelings, and then there was just, you know, I was ignoring the certain like phrasing and situations that were happening that I was like, getting icked out by, and then all of a sudden it was just so much. And like now I'm just like, what on earth is going on? Like, I know what's going on, but like what, like it's not bad. Like, I'm still like enjoying my time, but I'm just like, oh. So I'm thinking this is going to be like 4 stars, 4.5, because I was so, what did my voice say then? Because I was so convinced it was going to be 5 stars, and now I'm just like, I don't know, we're in a different perspective. And I'm just like like, if you know, you know. Like, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, and I feel like even me saying like the simplest thing can spoil it, and I don't want that to happen. So yeah, I'm just continuing on reading, and I don't know if I'm gonna get this finished tonight, but I've been reading this book for such a long time because I wanted to savor it, but now I'm just like, okay, now I need to know like what on earth is going on and how everything's gonna be tied together. So I'm just gonna keep reading, and yes, we'll go from there. Let me just read like one part. Summoning my lassos. I hold them to the ceiling, coiling one around the chandelier and pulling myself up while using the other one to reach for the branches, sending zaps of energy deep into the ground.
There's so much stuff about like wanting a family and wanting children, and I don't know, it's just like decreasing my enjoyment to the point where now I'm like, I feel like I can't give this book any more than 3 stars. Ratings are a feeling, okay? And just so much talk about like wanting children, and I'm just like, I just typically don't like that in books. Chapter 30 now, so I don't know what to say. I don't know how this book was like literally so much of I was like, it's 100% 5 stars, and now I'm just like 3 maybe. I like when the couple, it's like just them. It's like it's just them and like no one else. Is that bad? It's just like what's going on? No, I know what's going on. I'm asking rhetorically, but like, is this now like some sort of werewolf romance? I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of getting annoyed now. I just wish like the start and like so much of it, literally, I was enjoying like majority of the book, and then now I'm just like, okay, wrap it up. My Kindle is saying I have an hour and 1 minute left, and in the physical book I have like, I did the calculations, about 50 pages left, so let's just keep reading, I guess. I'm at my wit's end. Not the tail. Not the tail. This is not the same book I was reading at the start. Not the tail. I've had enough. This book has so much potential and so much premise, and I was so excited to read it, and now I'm just like, what on earth is this? It was so good, and it's just, now I'm just like, I can't. I'm actually gonna cry. I'm gonna cry because just how I was expecting things to go is just to the full. Like, it's completely done. Like, not what I was wanting. And it's a me problem, I get it. But, like, the tail was my last straw. Put that away. Like, you know in Scooby-Doo Zombie Island, when they turn into werewolves? Like, I don't think he's a werewolf, but, like, he grew, and he has a tail, and he has claws now.
I don't want to talk about this book. How could I go through 70% of this book knowing in my heart this was going to be 5 stars, and then past 70% point I was like, okay, maybe 4 stars, and then maybe 3 stars, and I just don't know how to get that, because I thought this book was going to be 5 stars. I was convinced it was going to be 5 stars. I was going to prematurely rate it. This book, I look at it and I want to burst into tears, because part of me now is just like, I just want to ignore the fact of why I wanted to just rate it so badly, because this book, I loved it. Like, I loved it, and it's, I don't know how I can even say it, but I just don't know how this book it just let me down. It let me down, and I have so many quotes and stuff in my Kindle, which I'm going to transfer over into this, because I want to be able to remember it. I want to be able to relive the good stuff. I want to be able to relive the part of the book where I thought it was going to be 5 stars. Now, this book, it's very complicated, right? Okay, there's lots of different timelines, and let me kind of tell you. So, in the present timeline, we have Darcy, and Darcy is a teacher, and she's very conservative. She grew up with nuns, and she thought that she was an orphan. It's actually been revealed to her that she's in fact not an orphan. She has a father, he's very rich, and a lot of the opportunities that she was given, and she thought were given to her because of her nature and her personality, were actually because of the father. And it's like, okay, so this father, he lived in Fairydale. And if you go to Fairydale, you can see, like, you're part of his will, right? So she goes to Fairydale, and it's like, yeah, you can get all this stuff only if you stay for this set amount of time, whatever. And Fairydale is weird. It is weird, okay? There are so many weird happenings. In Fairydale, she meets this guy named Caleb and his family, but then she's having these dreams, right? And in the dreams is the past, which is a different timeline, where she is experiencing things as Elizabeth. And the society, it's all like, you know, high society, balls, stuff like that. And there's this character called Eamon. Stop, I have to go. Okay, and I'll really quickly tell you the last timeline. And then the timeline, we have this girl named Stella. And this is the timeline which we don't really get a lot about at the beginning. We kind of get this little glimpse into it, and then nothing. And then at the end, it's just so much, which is where things started going downhill. Anyways, I have a lot to say about this book. I could cry. Just, this book, I just don't know how. It was just so good. It was literally so good. And I just want to cry because, like, it was so good. And then I didn't like the direction it took. I didn't like it. Okay, you guys, it's finally time for me to talk about Fairydale. I have put off talking about this book for the longest time because as I said, it's disappointed me, you know? And I had momentum when I was talking about this book, and then I was cut short because I had to go to work. Did I have to go to work? I had to do something. And it disappointed me because this book, it was good. It was so good. And then I couldn't get past the stuff that was going on. I was like, I can't. So it's time for me to give you my final thoughts. So I kind of have some notes and then I'll go through some of my Kindle annotations, because the thing is, right, is I bought this book before I even had a Kindle. And then I realized it was on Kindle. So then I read it on Kindle, and I underlined and highlighted so many things on my actual Kindle. Oh, can you underline? No, well, I highlighted and noted things on my Kindle, and I need to go and annotate this. But I don't know if I can. Maybe I need to, and it will reignite like my love. I'm giving this book 4 stars because I originally, like, I bumped it down significantly because I was just like, how it could just was 5 stars for so long in my mind, and then it just went, because I just didn't like some of the directions things took, and I was disturbed, and in a bad way, okay? Each of the characters, in their perspectives, they think a lot. We're in their head a lot. Like, someone will ask a question, and whichever main character it is, particularly Darcy, they will think, like, there'll be so many paragraphs just in a monologue before then finally answering the question, which you need to know that because I think some people, like, it provides backstory, context, whatever, but I think it's something that you just need to keep in mind, because I know some people like a more even split of inner monologue and dialogue. I liked the mystical creatures, mystical beings, the odd things in this book. I liked the intense longing that was in this book between, like, the romances. There's witches, gargoyles, catacombs. I love catacombs. One thing about me is I'm gonna love catacombs in any of the books. Do you remember Monster High? Yeah, well, Operetta, she was in the catacombs under the school, and that was just, like, my favorite thing ever. Literally the things that the men in this book, the different men in this book, the different love, you know, interests, the things that they do, I could cry. Like, I could cry. I'm just gonna say one word, okay? And if you know, you know. Rats. That's all I'm gonna say. That is all I'm gonna say. And if you read this book, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say, like, the things that they do and that. I really love in Elizabeth's perspective because it's like the older past timeline part. I love, like, the high society aspect, the balls, the debut, like, all that stuff. And also in Coraline, okay, I'm switching around a lot, okay? My mind is scattered. There's a character in this book, he's called Mr. Meow, and he's a cat. And if you like the cat from Coraline, I think you like him, because I feel like he's like the cat. He's just reminding me of the cat from Coraline for whatever reason. He does. Now, there was, like, a lot of, like, cringy. Okay, there was some cringy stuff at the start that I was just ignoring. I was bypassing, and then at the end I was like, I just simply cannot, because I absolutely, like, I just love the fantastical elements. I love the paranormal elements, and I love the fact that it was a romance, and I loved all that I was just willing to put aside the stuff that made me be like. Now, what I want to say, do not look this book up. Do not look this book up, because if you do, you will be spoiled. Literally, I saw some girl's video, and she was, you know, saying why you should read this book and read this book if you like this. That just spoils, like, the entire thing, because you don't realize. Just don't look it up, because if you do, you will be spoiled, unless you don't mind being spoiled. But, like, it was my own fault. Like, I was looking for specific, like, aesthetic stuff, and I was like, okay, well, that was my own fault, because, like, I went looking and I found a massive spoiler, and I was like, oh, okay, so just don't look it up. Like, I did have a suspicion about it, but then the fact that it was just spoiled, I was like, I'm all for marketing a story for authors, but I'm pretty sure also this author says to not talk about, like, I think she says that, like, at the start of the book. I hope you enjoy it, and please do not spoil the story for others. And I think the way some people are marketing it, that is, like, a massive spoiler, because it's like, that is not on the back anywhere, and you don't know that's the direction the book is going to go in. So don't look it up, because you will be spoiled. There were so many premises and situations in this book, and it is things that, like, I just find absolutely beautiful and romantic, and I love, and there's something about it, like, it's different tropes and stuff that, like, if a book has it, I will eat it up. But again, I'm not telling you because it is a spoiler, okay? And if you want to spoil it yourself, that is fine. Like, the idea of this is, like, precisely, like, what I need in books. Also, this book is very long, right? And yet there were still so many situations where they were describing, like, a sentence, and I was like, wait, we totally could have got something more about that, and I wish we did. Like, I really did enjoy my time reading it. I did also think it's funny that there's Elizabeth is one of the characters and Darcy is one of the characters, and I'm like, Pride and Prejudice. This book, it literally, it does, it feels like a million books in one. And I feel like I will need to reread it but I might stop at a certain part and just skip over that because I don't care. It's a shift and I don't like it at all. I just didn't like it. Like, I like the romance, the slow burn, the forbidden aspects, how protective certain characters were, the different timelines and storylines, the paranormal aspect, the gothic setting, the high society settings, the mystery. What I didn't like was that some of the characters, they had like a thing for licking each other, which I was just like, why are you just licking each other's faces? Like, licking each other's faces. The way that certain actions and specific words were used to describe things, I also didn't like at all. And I also didn't like the ending part. Not the ending part, but like there's, you know, if you read the book, you know, there's like a shift and then it starts getting all like, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm disturbed severely. But I'm gonna go through my Kindle now. Oh, what's happening? Why is my Kindle freezing? Stop! So now I'm just going to go through and just read out some annotations for you. And it's just, this I think shows you the character she is, alright? Well, Darcy. She spent months on end in the river, dreading the fact that she would have to face reality when she was done. I love and loved in return, yet there is a gaping hole in my heart that seemingly bleeds invisible blood. The same restlessness I've always encountered makes me think there's something more. A freedom any other has nothing to do with the material, maybe not even the corporeal. Somewhere in the world there's a certain happiness that calls to me, something ineffable that speaks to my soul rather than my mind. Kind of an example of some of the eeriness. Just as I've reached the landing or the first floor, I find myself flat on my front, a hand pulling at my ankle. There's also this specific, in so many books there's this thing, it's like, though he killed someone to save me, his presence brought me a sense of security unlike any other. We don't have that type of acquaintance where I'm allowed to miss you, do we? Real. There are so many quotes that I've highlighted, but I'm not reading because it's so spoil it. It would just spoil it. For a moment, one short moment, everything stills. There's no one else in the room but he and I, lost in each other's gazes and the timelessness of time. I'm also not going to tell you which parts they're from because I feel like it's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant, but it just will just mean that if you read it yourself, it's fine. I stop in the middle of the dance floor. Time stops as everything fades away until there's only him and me. My eyes on his on mine. I want all of you. I want to slowly unpack you, know your likes and dislikes, explore your mind as if it's the first time. I'm becoming more unhinged with every passing day, seeing things that aren't there, imagining things that aren't there. So again, speaking to the odd behavior, I would do anything to keep you safe. I'm a confused fool that agreed to marry one man while still wavering about the other, while still very much having feelings for him. That night, despite all the heartache and disappointment, I sleep better than I have in my entire life, and I know there is only one reason for it. Him. Sometimes doors close just so others can open. Journeys end just so new ones come in. There is this, Firework by Katy Perry keeps being played at my work, and I think it's because she was on tour, I think, and then she went to space, whatever, I don't know. But they keep playing Firework, and there is one part of the song, and it actually makes me sob. Maybe the reason why all the doors are closed is so you can open one that leads to the perfect road. That line gets me through. I'm not even kidding. Even if the entire world hates me, even if they all revile me, as long as I have your love and your regard, nothing else matters. I'm your lover. It's more than enough for me. If I wouldn't spend an eternity just like this, you, me, he pauses as he catches my eye. Us forever. Elena Core. Is it possible for someone to be attracted to two people at the same time? There's nothing more potent than knowing I am with the only man who completes me in the entire world, the one who claims my heart, my soul, my essence, and everything that I am. I just really liked it, and that's why it's going to be a 4 stars, even though near the end, and it was just a lot of talk about children, wanting children and all that, and I'm just I don't I like in stories if it's I will only love you and it's just those two. I don't like when they bring a child into the mix. I don't like when they bring a child into the mix or they want a child into the mix. I'm just but it's supposed to just be you two. Why are you bringing a child in? Maybe it's because, I don't know, I don't plan on having children, anytime soon. I don't even know if I don't know. But, and I know that, everyone who is older than me is always well, you want children. And I'm well, I don't have any desire to. And they're oh, but you will want them. And I'm I don't know if it's because I'm just that's just in my mind. I'm just anyways, that is what I have to say for Fairydale. I really did like it. It was just near the end and the other stuff that was going on. I was just I understand the desperation, the pain, and why things had to happen the way they did, but it did frustrate me. And I was just reading it you are being you are not seeing that this is an awful, terrible, terrible idea. But I understand why things had to happen the way they did. Because of all that, it just will not be 5 stars for me. And it will just not be 5 stars for me. And that whole furry scene thing, the fairy tale and stuff like that. But that is what I have to say for this. I literally do not think I've even told you anything about this book. Have I? I don't think I have. Let's start with the plot, like just the basic plot. April and Eddie have taken a wrong turn. I actually love that movie. The first one, obviously, not the disgusting 2021 remake, which is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, that movie is so despicable and I hate it so much, but the original Wrong Turn, I love. So basically, yes, this couple, it's late at night, they're on this long dark road and they see a woman up ahead. She is clearly in trouble. There's something like not right about the entire situation. So naturally, they stop and see if she's alright and pick her up. She's not alright. She's covered in blood. Then in the distance, they see headlights and the girl is like, I'm sorry, he's coming. They take her to the hospital and some things happen. And I don't really want to tell you too much because I didn't know much going into this. And I feel like that is genuinely the way to go because this book was good. Like, I will rate this book 4 stars. Did I rate this book 4 stars? I either rated it 3, but like right now, thinking back on it, I will give this book 4 stars. There's literally so many, you know that the saying, do you know that sound that's like, mama, a girl behind you? Like, that is this book. Like, there were so many aspects of this book, I was just like, there's something there behind you. Like, I love the side characters, which I feel like you don't really get much in thriller books. I've read a lot of thriller books, and the side characters are, like, literally one-dimensional. Like, they are simply there just for the sake of being there. There's nothing, but I love the side characters in this. I loved so many specific scenes. I loved the scenery of the place, and I loved going along and trying to figure out like what is going on. Like, I could not stop reading because I'm just like, wait, like I don't understand, like what is going on. There is like small town vibes in this. It was, I liked it. Like, yes, it was very creepy, and I think that if you are after what did I rate this? There's no good reads on my iPad. Whatever, I think it was 4 stars. But like, you know how sometimes you have like reservations about a book and then you don't think about it for a while, and then when you think back on it, you kind of forget like the reservations. Like, that's kind of like whatever. I would recommend this, especially this was a good book, like, because it was good for when you just need, like, you don't want something that's like really you need to be constantly thinking about and analyzing and paying so much attention to. You just are reading it and it's just like, oh. So yeah, I like this.
Alara Bowery had been able to walk through dreams for as long as she could remember. Some were Stygian and black and jagged nightmares, others were sherbet painted and cloud-filled, the daydreams of the innocent.
I really like that image actually.
One, she's stupid. 2, oh, I see. What is going on?
I never really explained what this book is about, but I'm just going to read you the little synopsis thing. In a world where no entities exist but the stars, cruel and merciless gods that watch over the world, Alara, the main character, has been cursed by fate. A prophecy promises that she will fall for a star and it will kill them both. Essentially, there's different kingdoms. She's a part of one kingdom, the Kingdom of Darkness, and the Kingdom of Light. They kidnap her, and that's how it starts out. The king and Prince Enzo, who is the love interest, he like trains her because it's going to be like a war on stars and they want to be able to use her because she's very powerful. I actually really like her magic and all that. I need to go to work. I just washed my hair and I want to do my makeup because I just haven't done my makeup for work literally since last year. Oh my god, has it been since last year? I haven't worn makeup to work since last year. And a lot of times last year I would do like full face. So that's fine. I think what is gonna happen now is I'm gonna do my makeup, but I have so many books that I have like not updated you on specifically for this video. It was this video and my reader and haul one, whatever. But for this one, I need to talk with you about the books, and we can go from there. And I'll pop up my iPad, my broken iPad, my second broken iPad in a year. But I'm gonna do my makeup and I'll tell you about some of the books. How's that sound? And yes, my hair is wet and it's in this towel thing, and also because it's red, I can't. Oh, actually, I wouldn't mind if I got on this. I don't know. The first book we're going to talk about is Heavenly Bodies. I have my makeup bag here. We are going to know how I'm going to do my makeup. I think let me just get out my makeup first. So I really like the writing style in Heavenly Bodies. I like the way the things are described. For example, the weather. And I really liked how like specific niche sceneries were described. And I really enjoyed that. I really like how grief was also explored in this. Sometimes the comebacks or quips, I was a little bit like, ooh, I do not like that at all. But I understand that was just me being like a bit fussy about like specific things. But yes, I thought that sometimes the banter as well, I was a little bit like, ew. It was still good. Like, I was just like, ew, like that. Oh, okay, let's just say that the comebacks and the quips, a lot of them, and the banter, it was just not for me. And I was like, I don't like that at all. You know, the most dangerous kind of villain, a woman with nothing left to lose. A prophecy promises that she will fall for a star, but it will kill them both. Yet when the star of wrath and war descends to hunt Alara, the neighboring kingdom sees an opportunity to take her from her home, kidnap her from the kingdom of night, and take her to Helios, the kingdom of light. So it's like night versus light. You know, I liked that in the world, but I wish there was a bit more of seeing the light and the dark, and then the differences. That's what I wish. I don't like when this stuff gets on my hands. So this one is slightly different to the one I had before, but it's alright. I'm choosing to assume it. It's okay. Where is my beauty blender? Basically, in the kingdom of light, she strides into the arms of an enemy prince. So there, Alara is either forced to let Prince Lorenzo train her into a weapon worthy of battling against the tyrannical reign of the stars, or to accept her fate. But there are shadows even within the kingdom of light, and they threaten to reveal the darkness in Lorenzo's past and the ancient magic that slumbers in Alara's veins. And with it all, the undeniable star-crossed pull between them. Locked away in a silver tower. Yeah, whatever. Okay, basically, yes. She locked away in a silver tower. It was very interesting, the world building, at first. At first I was reading it and I was like, wow, this is so interesting. And then again, I was like, just what happened to it? Like, literally, it's like, it would have been so much interesting to have just a bit more, I would say. Also, magic is spelled really weird. There's a lot of like specific words and stuff in this book, and it is spelled weird. So magic is M-A-G-I-K. I actually listen to a lot of it on audio. Well, yeah, I do the thing where I listen to parts of it on audio and then I read it. But then when I need to do things, I will listen to it on audiobook. So I'm kind of just like still reading the book, and I'm not just like taking unnecessary breaks unless I absolutely have to. So when I was listening, I didn't notice it, but then when I was reading, I was like, why are so many words spelled wrong? Well, not wrong, because who even decides how words are spelled? But just spell it a bit differently. I feel so weird talking. Like, I feel like I'm being very robotic right now. I don't think I've actually filmed myself talking in a while, which is strange because I'm supposed to be doing weekly vlogs, but I kind of lost that along the way, so I'm just taking videos of random things. Anyways, I really do like the whole like fate and destiny and stars, because I do believe in fate and destiny and stars. One of my favorite lip glosses ever was called Stars Aligned. Yes, it got stolen, and I finally got like a kind of replacement one because I discontinued it, so I got this one instead. What's this one called? It's called Pretty Pony. So it doesn't have the same appeal as Stars Aligned, because when I saw it was Stars Aligned, I literally was like, I'm meant to have this, you know? I liked the difference between the whole shadow power and then like the light power, and the differences between that. I liked their little mission that they were on. I haven't even got this written down. Okay, but yeah, I liked the little mission that Alara and the prince go on. I liked the tarot card scenes, but guess what, guys? I've healed, because I did in fact see a tarot card I saw a tarot card on TikTok because I briefly, what the hell has happened with my concealer? Okay, yeah, I saw one on my For You page on TikTok, and it was just like so blatantly wrong. But in the past, I would have like easily believed that. So I've come a long way, because I was just like, you know, I'm falling for that, you know, like, don't lie to me. But yeah, there's a stage where I really did love the tarot. That's what I love to see. But I was just like, oh, I can't believe I ever actually believed it. Sometimes they were real, and then other times I'm just like, it's It's just not. But yeah, there were specific tarot card scenes, prophecies, you know, the whole entire prophecy about falling off the star and then it both killing them. And so when you're reading it, you kind of have this, like, the prophecy is kind of like just above everything, because it's like, oh, okay, what's that gonna happen? Now, there is like specific powers in this book. One of them is dream walking. Alara possesses that. She can like walk into people's dreams. But she also, yes, it's mentioned before that she had this like power like in her veins, and like the power of dark, and like that power is really cool. Like the things that she can do, like bringing the nightmares and stuff. Oh, is that a spoiler if I say it? Never mind. The Shadowmancer thing. Oh yeah, also dragons are spelled Draguns. Once a specific image is mentioned once, it is mentioned kind of a lot again, because I remember like the very first page I was like, wait, when it was like the way the clouds were described and like the sherbet thing. Then sherbet is just used to refer to the clouds so much, and it's kind of just like, is there any other image, or is this just like, it's fine, but like, is that, did you have to, I just noticed, I was like, once a specific image was used once, it was just like used all the time. See how I just repeated that then? That's what it was like in the book. But yes, like the sugar skies, the clouds, the candy floss, etc, etc. I really liked this quote because I found it relatable. I would have taken the crumbs you fed me, taken you in sips, even when I wanted to drown, if it meant I could be near you. Sigh. I'm gonna carve the way you look right now into stone. I did like that. I feel like I'm no makeup out of order. Do I care? I will. I'm so disappointed. This is just not the same. This like powder, it's just not the same as what I'm used to. Does it need like, I feel like it's not even like coming off anymore. I miss my old Hourglass one, I'll tell you that. But they discontinued it. Why would they discontinue it? There are specific words in books that I don't like. And one of them that they use in this one is brat. And I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. How are you guys feeling about Euphoria? For you coming out? It's just, I don't know. I was just in very like different points in my life. Like when Euphoria like season 2 came out, I actually liked how they released them all once a week, because then you'd like go to school, talk about them. Actually, none of my friends watched it, but I had friends in other years and we would just discuss it, because like, yeah, okay, this is my own, I want to just use some of it. Like, I love this so much. Like, I can't believe they discontinued it. But yes, I use the word brat a lot, and I just don't like that. So that's like not like just for this book, it's in a lot of books that they use it and I don't like it. The writing style is very descriptive and lyrical. There's a lot of sensory imagery. It's very atmospheric. But I definitely liked the very like lyrical nature of the writing. I liked how certain things were described. The imagery made it like very immersive, and I really liked the atmosphere. Yeah, the book, it was very dreamlike, and I'm very interested in the next one and what that one's gonna have in it. Can I even do my makeup while I talk? I literally do not think I can.
To be honest, I wasn't completely sold on their relationship, but that could just be me being very fussy and the time perhaps I read it, so I'll have to just see.
Overall, I'm going to be giving that book 4 stars. I really did like it. I enjoyed my time reading it. Okay, this is the bronzer one, and this is the blush one. I have to smell the brushes so I know exactly which one it is. I guess I could look, because if you look, you can kind of tell. But yeah, I did enjoy my time reading it. We'll be reading the next one. Was very interested. So I would recommend it. I kind of feel like I want to reread it, because sometimes I feel like when I'm reading books, I'm just like, okay. But yeah, I feel like I do need to reread it, just to like pick up on some more things, and just, yeah, so I definitely think like before the next one comes out, or is it already out? No, it's not out. Before the next one comes out, I definitely want to read it again, just to kind of like remind myself of like what everything is, and like the ending is crazy. And there's a lot of parts of it, the book, where I was like, what? But yeah, I really enjoyed my time reading it. Okay, and also the lighting is making my makeup look bad. Guys, it's making me look bad. Trust me, trust the process, it will look good.
Okay, this is what my makeup is looking like. Okay, time to review the next book.
This is actually one of my biggest fears. So she's crying in the kitchen, and so she's crying about the oatmeal, about the way Pete was looking at me and also not, and about the big chunk of my life I'd spent married to a man who would not cross the width of a kitchen to comfort me. That is like my biggest fear. Like, what do you mean? The great thing about being an only child is that at the end of the day, you find everything right where you left it. I wish I could relate, but I cannot. I just cannot. Like, but I do wish my stuff wasn't moved, and I wish I didn't have to come down to my room and just find random things in here that people have to purposefully mess with me and make me annoyed. Guys, I'm feeling stressed. I'm seeing This lady, like, I'm literally on page 7, but I'm stressed by her life. Like, it's stressing me out. Like, what do you mean you found keys under the camp t-shirt? Like, under the camp t-shirt order form that was due last week. It was due last week. The keys were under there. Her phone under a buttered piece of toast. That phone needs to be disinfected ASAP. But I get that's purposeful, and it's showing really just how deeply this grief she's experiencing is affecting her. Does it say on the back whose grief it is? I mean, it's literally like quite okay. Well, it's someone pivotal in her life, and you find out. Like, literally, I'm on page 8, and we've heard a lot about who this person is. What I've gathered is that my character Ali, she's a professional organizer, despite the fact that her own space, her own life, and everything is just a mess. So I get its irony, and then I don't actually know what happens, but I have a suspicion because her friend is like, yeah, my parents, they're going on holiday, and I don't know if then she's gonna house sit maybe, or maybe she's going to be, the only reason why I think house sitting is because I saw someone this week and they were house sitting, or maybe she's inspired to go on a holiday, or maybe invited, I don't know, but I have a feeling it's going to be some sort of holiday because the book is called Summer Romance. So her kid's name are Iris. I actually really like the name Iris. Give up forever to touch you. And then the other kids are called Greer, not Gru, Greer, and Cliffy, not Clifford, like the big red dog.
Guys, this is not a coincidence. This is not a coincidence. And let me just explain why, right? Magnolia Drive out of Beechwood towards Baxter. Magnolia Parks. BJ. What is BJ's real name? Baxter James. That is not a coincidence. Literally, look at that. See, it's not a coincidence.
Now let's talk about Summer Romance. Now I feel like this book, I feel like I didn't tell you anything about it, like, at all. Did I tell you anything about this book? I like this book. I'm giving it 4 stars. There were some parts of this book that I didn't like. I didn't like how she said she was carbonated. I hate that word. So that's a personal preference, I suppose. Yes, I liked a lot about this book. About this woman. This mother, this single mother of 3, finding herself, and after everything she's been through, and dealing with what her relationship was, and how negatively that relationship affected her. And then also her mom, the complex relationship with her mom, because she had such a close relationship with her mom. But, you know, as time progresses in the book, she is looking at that relationship with her mom and looking at some things that her mom did and her mom said, and you know, kind of taking off the rose-colored glasses and being like, I love my mom, but there were some things that she should not have done. And I liked seeing her relationship with her kids, and I liked then seeing her relationship with Ethan. And Ethan, as a character, brings up a lot of interesting points, especially how when people, if they see you as something and they kind of place you in a box, even if you change so drastically, because they just perceive you as this one thing, even when you change, they just don't see it, and they just keep trying to put you back into who you no longer are. I love the setting. I loved the summer atmosphere. Obviously, I highlighted a lot of things because I could cry, actually. And I did cry. Well, I was about to cry, because there was a specific character. I really liked seeing her relationship with her neighbor. That's another relationship I like seeing. I liked the relationship in this book. And I liked that there were so many more relationships than just a romantic relationship, despite the fact this book is called Summer Romance. So you think it's going to be very much on the, you know, relationship with the guy, but I love the quotes, and I love the atmosphere, and I love the characters, and I love the setting, and I love the vibes, and I really like the writing style. I really like this book. So that's what I have to say about this. I don't really have, like, I don't know what else I can say about it, because I loved it, because there are characters in this book, and basically Ali, the main character, and Ethan is Ethan's parents. They're clearing out the house, and it's just, there's so much stuff. There's like boxes of stuff and memories, and, you know, slowly going through that, and I was just like, I really like that. I like this book a lot. I loved it, actually. So that's what to say about this.
This book is beautiful, by the way, though. Like, look at that, and then the sprayed edges, and then in the chapters, like, the things like that. Oh, this looks different to the one I have. Guys, look at the dust jacket. No dust jacket. Never mind. I took the dust jacket, but look at the. Whoops. That is so pretty. What? It is so pretty. Though, why is that bold and then this is like not? Like, what's going on here? You know? I just can't get over this. Like, what do you mean there's nothing scarier than a blind old woman with white thighs suddenly gripping your arm? Like, nothing scarier? Oh, it's just hyperbole. It's just hyperbole. Okay, but still, like, this poor lady. Okay, so I am beginning Gothikana and I'm a little bit scared because when I purchased it, I had heard nothing but great things about it. However, as soon as the book came to be in my possession, I felt like I just saw review after review and people after people talking about how they didn't like the book. So I looked up more reviews and it was just more people just not really liking it. And then I was like, oh, because this sounded good. It was like dark academia, gothic fantasy, etc., etc. So I'm just, I'm on chapter 2 now. This book is, the actual physical book is beautiful. There are so many illustrations, not necessarily of the scenes, but of like the moon and trees, and when she gets the letter, because I'll get to that in a second, when she gets a letter, it's like actually a letter, But anyways, let me kind of tell you what I've learned so far. So we have Corvina, and she lived with her mom in this town, and basically her mom her mom was hearing voices basically saying just to keep Corvina close because someone was going to take her away, and she was homeschooled. Try life, she's 21. Yeah, she also has purple eyes, and so people thought that was like really quite weird. She's very isolated, doesn't really talk much because she hadn't really had the opportunity to. When she gets this letter inviting her to this school, and she takes it and she goes, and now she's at the school and she has met her roommate, and her new roommate, her roommate ran away, but also the girl that she was rooming with before threw herself off the tower roof. So now we're up to the part where Corvina is like, is that true? Like, what exactly happened? And it has been revealed that roommate was doing nefarious things with a professor. And I'm assuming the professor is going to be Vad, and I am presuming Vad is the love interest in the story. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go, what's going to happen, because also it has been revealed that like a lot of the, like, it's a very like small school, they're very exclusive, and a lot of the students, they eventually give back to the school, whether that's becoming, like a professor themselves. That's what I know so far. My first initial thoughts, this is what's happening, explain really quickly, moving on kind of vibe. So okay, I'm just gonna keep reading now, and then yes, I'll update. I guess we'll have a bit more. Oh good lord, they call him the silver-eyed devil. I like the setting, and when she goes, it's like misty, and it's not a very bright sunny day, and obviously where I am right now is not a very bright sunny day. I'll show you in a second. It's like actually horrible, but there's like gargoyles and stuff. And what I'm really hoping to get from this book is I'm just hoping that it's gonna be like very creepy, very eerie. I don't know much about it aside from that, and I think that there's like a mystery, because is she gonna try to figure out like what happened to the girl, Alyssa? I'm curious. I want to know. I want to finish this book because it has been on my TBR just for a little bit of time, and I just feel like, especially when I spend a little bit of money on editions, I don't like to just want them sitting there, So that's what I'm hoping, that it's going to be just eerie, creepy, and I know there's going to be like the romance thing between her and Vad. So I'm going to be curious to see how like that pans out. And I'll be interested to like know how like classes and everything is. And also, if you wonder why I keep pausing everything, it's because I'm literally sneezing every 5 seconds. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I think there's like some cat fur up my nose. But that's what I'm hoping to get from this book. And yeah, I like that. Okay, back to reading. Also, okay, sorry, side rant. I feel like I'm talking a lot at the start of this book, and I'm really not that far into it. But a very like niche, well, it's not really niche because like so many books do it, but something that I do like in the books, and it's I know that it's purposeful, okay, but it's like the main character is, they love reading and they read romance, and they're just like, that will never happen to me, so I read it to like whatever, escape into like the romance, like see the romance happen for other people, but it's never gonna happen to me. Like, that's how she is, right?
And I love that when it's in books. I just love that. And then they get their own little romance. I don't know why. I just like it. Because, like, if someone was to look at my love life, it's just drama and a mess. I'm getting secondhand embarrassment. Oh, he just called himself a mad pirate.
Like the cleaning supplies.
Oh, so there is going to be a second one.
Okay, you guys, let's talk about Gothikana. So I went into this book knowing that it had a lot of negative reviews because I bought it and I was like, wow. And then as soon as I did, I saw so many reviews of people just like not liking it at all. And I was like, oh, well, that's wonderful for me. Like, I just bought it. And I also bought the special edition. I actually liked that the special edition had like extra quotes, and it was slightly different because sometimes I did read a little part of it on my Kindle, and then when I'd like go to catch up with the book, I noticed that some of the phrases were like changed. And it wasn't even problematic phrases. It was just some things were just changed. So I was like, okay, don't know what that's about. I went into it knowing that I was probably not going to like it. So I think that's why I didn't hate it as much as what I thought it was going to be. It is very Wattpad-y. There were definitely some parts of it was like, because basically we have the FMC, and we have the MMC, and the MMC is a professor. His thesis though is so vague. That is the vaguest thesis. His topic needs some work, okay? Anyways, there were so many aspects of this book that I did find like very interesting. They have this thing called the black ball, and like there's so many disappearances every time there is this black ball occurs. Things are very quick in this book. The romance moves very quickly. It's just everything just moves so fast. There's a character and she has trauma and it's just like dropped so casually. Also, the main character, I kind of get her, but like some of the things that she does, the way she reacts, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense considering like her past and the way she was raised by her mother, and certain aspects about it kind of makes sense. But then on the other hand, it's just like not. So I feel like we definitely could have explored more about her past. I wish that we got more about the castle that the school is set in. I also wish that the romance was done in a bit of a different way, because it was very like not what I was expecting. Like I was expecting like tension, slow burn, angst, and there was just none of that. None at all. I just didn't get it. I was just like, oh, okay. Also, I feel like a lot of the pacing didn't always flow. There was a situation between them in the library, and I just feel like it was so like oddly, yeah, the thing in the library, it was very oddly placed. I feel like there was no tension. It was just put in there for the sake of just like, I think, being put in there. And I'm just like, I feel like it just wasn't, I feel like I put on way too much highlighter. That's what I feel like. There's supposed to be like Beauty and the Beast elements, Beauty and the Beast vibes, Dracula vibes in this book, and I did not get that. However, the cover, like, I did actually get Beauty and the Beast vibes from the cover, from like the rose and the castle. How the main character, she does have a horrendous memory though. Like, there's a facet of people in this book called the Slayers, and they play a pretty pivotal part in how things, you know, happened in the past and how then things happen. We knew about them because they were told to her, right? They were told to her. And then they were mentioned again. And she was like, huh? What is that? And it's like, were you not paying attention? We literally already know what this is. Okay? We literally were already told. You were already told this. I don't know. Sometimes she was being pathetic. Okay, sometimes I did. I was getting the vibe. I'm like, you are literally being pathetic. Like, stand up. Stop. Oh, there's another situation where she was sleeping next to him and she was just grateful he gave her another verse, and I was like, ew. I really don't like how the mental health representation is in this, like, at all, and I'm just telling you that because I felt like a lot of parts were represented poorly. He is obsessed with her nose piercing, because she got a nose piercing. She also has purple eyes. They will not let you get that. Obsessed with the nose piercing. However, like, because she's got a ring. I had a ring for years, and then it was actually only this year that I changed it to a stud. I'm going back to a ring, but a lot of guys did try to like rip out my nose piercing, like my ring. I don't know why. They'd grab it and be like, what if I just ripped it out right now? And that happened like too many times, I think, to count. Maybe it's because like you can't, like, you can rip out a hoop, but it's different. It's so easy to rip out a stud, especially like if it's an L-shaped one. It's so easy to rip out. So maybe there is some truth to that, because I was just like, that is so weird. But then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, but some guys I interacted with, they tried to rip out, like they literally would tug on it. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Anyways, yes, but there was a lot of lines in this book that I found disturbing, and I thought that the ending was very unsatisfying, and I felt like there were so many unanswered questions. I could just be making this up, but I swear there's going to be like a second one. I don't know if I'm going to read that. This book is definitely around the 2.75 to 3-star realm. I know that a lot of my ratings are not just like 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, because I feel like that's very complicated. I feel like it's a lot harder to just put like a standard rating on it, and that's why I need the points. I've done my makeup now.
You guys, I spent all day today editing this video because after many months, it is finally time that it gets off my phone because I cannot take it anymore. Every single time I get any second of downtime, I'm like, okay, I should be editing the April monthly TBR one. And what have we learned? Okay, we learned that yes, it is possible for me to read my monthly TBR, just that it won't be read during the month and it will take me a long time to do. I am very glad that I did make this video though. I'm very glad that I did end up reading all the books, and if this is something that anyone would like to see again, I will do it again. I will, even though it took me such a long time to do. It took me so long to even think about editing, because it also took me a long time to even find all the video clips of each book. Regardless, I would say that I had a very successful reading experience with these books, and I'm very, very glad that I read them. Yes, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. And yes, I will see you in the next one.